Hello everyone, welcome to day 4 of my Silly Safari class to go. This is a really fun class to go that I am featuring for the first half of August. You can get this class to go by placing an order of at least $50 in my online store between August 1st and August 15th. Your order needs to be $50 before tax and shipping in my online store, and I do have bonuses for orders at $100 and $150. If you want details on how to get the class to go for free, there's details in the video description. Or you can check out my blog post or go back to day number 1 where I talk about it in a little bit more detail. All right, we're using the adorable Silly Safari stamp set. And like I've mentioned this week, it is in our annual catalog on page 83. If I can pull it up. I love this stamp set. It is offered as a bundle with the 1 7/8 and circle punch. We're not using that punch during this class, but you could absolutely substitute that punch for the 2-inch punch that I've been using. They are close enough in size that I think they work. If you don't have a circle punch of that size, I do recommend getting it because it is absolutely, it turns into like an essential tool in your arsenal. Okay, day 1 we made this adorable little zebra card with that geometric background. Day 2 we did this adorable bokeh giraffe card. Yesterday for day 3 we did this little monkey slide and lock card. The little monkey slides off to reveal the inside of the card. So that was days 1, 2, and 3. Today we have another fun fold card, and I love this card so much. I'm taking my notes off because I need to refer to those when we're making this card, but it opens up like this, and I don't know if I can even get it all on the camera, but it is so fun. So let's go ahead and start with the actual card base. So you're going to need a piece. I'm using Darling Duckling. You'll need a piece that is 7 by 8 1/4. And we're gonna do some scoring, and I'm gonna use my my Simply Scores, or not my Simply Score. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. I was debating it whether or not to get out my Simply Scored, but I think I'm just going to use my paper trimmer to do the scoring today. I'm going to move my camera up just a little bit just so we can get more of this into the frame. Okay, so we're going to take our cardstock. Again, I'm using Darling Duckling 7 by 8 1/4. All the measurements will be listed in the video description. Please check those. They are normally more accurate than what I'm speaking. Sometimes my words get away from me, and some of the measurements I give are not always correct. So make sure to check the actual typed version either on my blog or in the video description. All right, so on one side, we are going to score it at 2 3/4. So I'm going to line that up 2 3/4. And you're going to rotate it and do it the same to the other side, 2 3/4. Okay. And we're going to do some marking on this, and then we're going to score it again. So I'm going to grab a pencil, and I had a pencil here it is. Things get lost on my desk. And I'm going to grab my ruler, and we are going to mark at 5 1/2 on the top. So this is a 6-inch ruler, so it's not going to go all the way to the end, but 5 1/2, we're going to mark up here. These we're going to want to erase, so I'm going to make tiny little tick marks. So you can see 5 1/2 there. And then I'm going to go down the side at 5 1/2. And we're going to mark there too. Okay, so just little marks. So I have a score line here, and I have a score line here, and then we've marked here and here. Okay? All right, let me get out my paper trimmer again, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring. We are going to connect those 2 lines. So I'm going to stick this diagonally into my my paper trimmer, and I'm going to line up those 2 marks. So I'm going to make sure that both marks are in the, and I'm not sure I'm even going to fit both of them in the camera view. So let's see if we can go up just a little bit more. So I have a mark here, and I have a mark here. Both are in that that line. And we are going to score that. Now what's going to happen, and hopefully I'll be able to catch those score lines in the light, but what's going to happen is you will have gone through those 2, one of the horizontal lines, the vertical line, and you'll kind of create like a little star shape. I hope the camera's picking that up. I hope you can see that. Okay, take your pencil and just erase those marks. So we don't want to see those on our finished project. And we are going to fold and burnish this. So I'm going to fold on the score lines. those, and we're going to fold this one. And I like to do this diagonal one. I like to go back and forth on this one because it's going to fold in. So when we fold our card, we want those diagonal points to kind of come together like this, and it's going to come down and fold just like this. Okay, just gonna make sure that's nice and even. My score lines might have been a tad off, so that's why this is not laying completely flat, but just take your bone folder. We're gonna get some DSP on there, so that's gonna disguise any little marks, but that is our card, just like that. It'll open up just like that. You wanna just go through with your bone folder and just give everything a really solid burnish, okay? And make sure that everything is sitting nice and flat. Okay, so that's the base of our card. And we have just gotten, like, the sun has gone away, so what was a nice sunny day is now like a super cloudy day, so my lighting is getting really bad. Okay, we're gonna move on though. So this is the base of our card. That's it, that's the hard part of this card. So let me talk about the other supplies that I have for this card. So I have a piece of white that is 5 1/4 by 4. I've already done a little bit of stamping on here. We're gonna do a little bit more in just a second. I have some circles that I've die cut with our stylish shape size. I have Timid Tiger, Darling, Duckling, and then I have basic white. And so these are just 3 of our layering circles in our stylish shape size. I've already adhered these 2 together. We're gonna do some coloring on this one. So we'll set that aside to do that. Then I have some DSP, and we're gonna go ahead and stick this DSP on. So man, my lighting, the sun has just disappeared completely. I'm gonna move one of my lights and hopefully we'll get some better light. We are gonna get a little glare, but hopefully it'll be a little bit a better light situation. Okay, bear with me, guys. All right, I'm gonna come down just a little bit more with my camera now that we're done with that scoring part. Okay, you're also gonna use some linen thread in your kit. You'll want to make a little double knot with that, double bow. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about our DSP. So this is the same DSP that we used in yesterday's card with that beautiful purple pattern. All the supplies will be linked in a supply list below. Okay, so you have 2 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and I love this print, especially with the little cheetah. I think that really represents cheetah. And then you have one piece that is 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. So when we adhere this down, that smaller piece is going to go on this side because you just have that smaller corner here. And then you have 2 squares where these are going to go. And I'm going to make sure that my little, little dashes are all going in the same direction. And this one will go down in that bottom corner down there. Okay, so that is that. Let's go ahead and stick on let's bring in our card. We're going to stick on this circle that we've already put together. That's going to go right in the middle, but we are only going to put dimensionals just on this top square right here. You don't want to put dimensionals on the whole thing or you're going to glue your card shut. So I'm just going to put a couple just right on that square. And then we'll just kind of center our circle on there. And that will be our card. That's the base of our card. Now, if you want to trim some more DSP, you could actually put some more in here. That would be totally fine. But we're going to leave that blank for now. Let's get to the rest of our stamping. All right, let's finish our little border stamping here. For that, I'm gonna grab some scrap paper, and I have some Timid Tiger ink and some Darling Duckling ink. So let's pull those out. We're gonna use the little the background stamps in the stamp set, and I'm going to just stamp those. So all I've done is I've just taken the little dotted one and I've just stamped along the whole bottom over and over again. I did most of that in advance just to save a little bit of time in the video. And then we'll do the same with the little triangle one with the Timid Tiger. And the little triangle one just matches up pretty perfectly. And I'm not worried about making sure this is like exactly perfectly straight. It'll all look great once it's all on the card. Okay, so that's the inside piece of our card. So I'm going to adhere that down. I like to get pieces out of the way just so we don't lose them. This one will go right in here. And the card card will fold back up like this. So this is great if you don't want to write too much. You really only go about halfway down so your greeting isn't seen. So this is great for one of those ones where you just don't have a whole lot to say, and that's okay. All right, let's zoom in on our little cheetah here. We're going to color him, bring in our finished one. Well, kind of. We'll zoom out just a little bit. All right, we're going to color him with Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, Pool Party Dark, and Petal Pink Dark. I'm going to start with my Petal Pink. The only part that I'm using Petal Pink on is just on his little cheek here. I just wanted to give him just a little bit of a little rosy cheek, and that's the only place we're using Petal Pink. Okay, now for Darling Duckling, I'm going to start with my light. We're going to add lots of details with the dark Darling Duckling and the Timid Tiger. So I'm going to do a whole wash of the light Darling Duckling all over. And since his spots are black, you don't have to worry about going around the spots. You can just go right over them. I stamped him in black, Memento, because we are using our Stampin' blends. Now if you want to color him with watercolor pencils or anything like that, you can, you'll have to use StazOn, but for blends, you want to use Memento. All right, so that is just a little wash. I'm not going all the way down his nose, and we want to make sure to leave this part white. So that is with our light Darling Duckling. We'll come back to that in a little bit. All right, with our dark Darling Duckling, we're going to go back in and we're going to add some of those darker areas like that. Just kind of around his head, around the top of his head, kind of on this side of his face. All right, now I'm not going to blend that out just yet. I want to come in and add some of the darker areas with my dark Timid Tiger as well, or dark Timid Tiger, yes. So kind of in the same areas that I added that dark Darling Duckling, I'm going to go through and add a little bit of the Timid Tiger, but I'm not going to go as heavy as I did with the Darling Duckling. I'm just going to add it in a few little spots just to give a little bit of that orange kind of highlight, spotlight, however you want to say it. And then we'll go in with our light Darling Duckling and just kind of blend it out. We'll blend in the dark Darling Duckling as well as the Timid Tiger. And everything will blend nice and beautifully together, just like that. And that'll give him some nice orange tones along with those yellow tones. All right, to help him pop, we're going to go around him just like we've done in 2 other videos this week. This will be the 3rd time we're doing this. We're going to go around him with my dark Pool Party. And this is just going to help him pop off the page. You could also stamp and fussy cut him and put him on with a dimensional, and that will give him some dimension as well, but this is just kind of the cheater way to do dimension when you don't want to fussy cut. Okay, I got the lid on that, and that is our little cheetah all colored. Isn't he adorable? And with that little rosy cheek, so cute. All right, so the last thing we need to do, we need to get a glue dot for our linen thread bow here. And we're going to put dimensionals on the back of our cheetah. So a few dimensionals on the back of him. And we'll bring in our card. And this will go right onto that Darling Duckling circle. Adorable, right? And I'm going to grab my glue dot and I'm just going to lift this up a little bit. I just want to kind of tuck that under. I want that linen thread the knot to be tucked under the white with those the loops hanging out. All right, and finishing touch, we're going to add some of our antique pearls. These are some of my favorite embellishments. They really coordinate with everything, and they're nice and flat. If you want a full package of these included in your kit, just make sure your order is $150 and you'll get a free full package of these antique pearls in your kit. And that's it. That is this super fun corner pop-up card. I'm not sure what you call this, but it is a super fun fold card. All right, let's go over all the cards we made this week. So this was card number 4. Yesterday we made this adorable little pop-and slide card, or not slide cut, but slide and lock card with the sweet little monkey. Now, again, if you love the monkey, you can use the monkey for all your projects. I did a variety of the animals. Here, there's our giraffe from day 2 and our zebra from day 1, but you could absolutely do one animal for all of them. You can mix them up like I did. You can put, the cheetah on this one, the zebra on this one. You could really mix and match them however you wanted. But this is the Silly Safari class to go. If you want this class to go for free, all you need to do is place an online order of at least $50 before tax and shipping in my online store by August 15th. And you will be included in this class to go. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps me out. It helps me find new customers. It's free for you and you never miss a video. I'll be back soon with another class to go. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.